Hello, everyone. Welcome to the book launch of this much awaited book by Dr. Rajan Sankaran, Monks, Monkeys, and Memories. Well, I see many people have written in the chat box where they are zooming from. Please do write in the chat box, and it's lovely to know from where all of y'all are joining in from different parts of the world. All friends, colleagues, and well-wishers of Dr. Sankaran, and some new people who may not know him, but who may be excited to hear about the book today. I welcome all of you. Please do join in and let's have a lovely evening here. And we have people from Romania and from Germany, and we have from people from Israel. Hello, Rina. We have from Argentina, New Jersey. Lovely, lovely. So nice to see all of you all zooming in on this wonderful Sunday evening here in India. Yes, lovely, lovely. So today we're going to talk about this wonderful book and by Dr. Rajan Sankaran. Well, this is the book Monks, Monkeys, and Memories. Well, many of you all already know Dr. Rajan Sankaran, but a little introduction here. Dr. Rajan Sankaran is an internationally renowned homeopath known for his contribution to homeopathic theory and practice. He has authored over 25 books on homeopathy, which have been even translated into different languages. And he's also someone who's developed the sensation method of homeopathy, which is practiced the world over by different homeopaths. He conducts wise retreats, that is, witnessing the inner song experience. These retreats promote inner healing, and they have been life transforming for most people. It has been very, very well received. And he's highly respected in the homeopathic community and has trained a lot of homeopaths the world over. He conducts seminars in different parts of the world. He has written many books, and one of his books, which is Healing with Homeopathy, has been published by Penguin. And after that, he wrote many, many more books. However, he wrote Dog Yogi Banyan Tree and Manji the Boatman, which are his two non-homeopathic books. And now the third one is complete today, which is Monks, Monkeys, and Memories. So let me ask Dr. Rajan to please come aboard and grace us with his presence. Welcome, Dr. Rajan. We also have Dr. Kyle Wolfson here as a panelist, and I'm Shukrita Sankaran, your host for the evening. So, Dr. Rajan, well, one of the things that we would like to know is why this book? What is the purpose behind this book? Can you tell us a little bit?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, there is always the impulse or the urge to share things with others, what you have seen, what you have learned, so that it could be of some help to others as well. And by nature, I am an observer of things. That means I observe what is happening around me and I observe what is happening within me. And when you observe things, then even very, very small, almost insignificant situations and events, even if it be just one sentence from somebody, it triggers something in you, and what it triggers is a kind of awareness, an awareness of life, of yourself, of other people, of what it all means to be here on this earth, what it means to be human. So I would like to begin by telling you how this book began. I was just sitting one day and thinking, what are the events in my life that have had an impact on me? And what I realized is that while major things, life changing things, had a kind of impact on my life's journey, but it was the small things that opened my eyes to things that gave a certain perspective of life. And I want to start off by just mentioning one little incident that actually is the first chapter of the book, which is called Sir's Father. And this incident has to do with a trip that I made to Hyderabad. My son Soham, who is about 28 years old, had started there a research laboratory and a factory. And I thought that as a father, I must visit him, give him some encouragement. And I'm sure that, he would like that his father come and see his newly started facility. So I said, I'm coming, Soham. And I landed up in Hyderabad. And he suggested that I stay in the same hotel where he was staying, because he was staying in this hotel for 6 months or so. And he said, Papa, you stay in the same hotel, we will have, more time with each other. So I landed up at the reception of this hotel, and I gave my identity card, etc. And the receptionist said to me, so are you here on business? I said, no, I'm here to meet my son, Soham, who has been a guest with you for last 6 months. And I rightly guessed that everybody in the hotel would know Soham by this time, since he was such a long-standing guest. The receptionist once again looked at my name, and there was a little sense of recognition. Oh, he said, you are Sir's father. For a moment, I stood there perplexed. Sir's father? I am Sir's father? What does he mean? In India, the honorific or the title Sir is given to, like, your teacher or your boss or somebody respected. And for all my life, since I have been a professor, I have been the head of an institution, I have been a teacher, etc., I'm used to being called Sir. Never in my life I was called Sir's father. So for a moment, I said, what? You are Sir's father? What is he? Who is he talking about? And then I realized at that moment that he was referring to my son Soham as Sir, and I was Sir's father. And that was for the first time in my life that I was Sir's father. And then at that moment, something memory flashed in my mind that when I was Soham's age, I was 28 years old, I had published a book of the writings of my father. My father was already a well known homeopath in his time, but by the time he had died when I was 19, and by the time I was 28, I had become quite well known all over the world. I had written books, I was teaching, people knew me very well. And he was kind of known more by the seniors than by my generation. And then I published his book called The Elements of Homeopathy, and I sent it for review to the British Homeopathic Journal, who, of course, gave glowing review of the book, saying it's really a beautiful book, etc. And the last sentence was, and by the way, Dr. P. Sankaran is the father of the well known homeopath, Dr. Rajan Sankaran. So, standing there in that hotel in Hyderabad, I realized that that was the moment when my father became Sir's father. And because till I was 20, 21, 22, I was always known as the son of Dr. P. Sankaran. And now suddenly, my father was known as Rajan's father. I just stood there looking at that receptionist because at first I wanted to tell him, no, I am not Sir's father. I am Sir. That imp of a boy is my son. You see, you should call him Sir's son and not me, Sir's father. But I shut my mouth because I realized this is the story of life, that we cannot be placeholders, that our position will give way to the next generation. And maybe when Soham is 28, he will become Sir's father, you know. God knows. His son will come up, and the whole cycle will, move. And life is, like a river. I realize that the water is changing all the time, but the flow is the same. Life is like that. And I think that humbled me and gave me a fresh perspective of life. And it was this little one sentence, So you are Sir's father. My God, what an impact it had on me. And then I realized that so many such small, small, small things actually gave me more and more perspective of life. And that's those moments I captured and I put in this book, which is called Monks, Monkeys, and Memories.
Yes, that's wonderful, Dr. Rajan. So I'm reading a little bit from that chapter, which you just described so beautifully. And you've written here that it is not about things I did or achieved, but this book is about what I saw and experienced. So could you tell us a little bit more about that, about how you always say that your experience is your truth?
Yes, I will, you see, it's not about what I did, but it's what about I saw, what I observed, and what impact it had on me. I will tell one more story from the book. It is called A Sentence for Life. And it's a story of me as a little boy. I must have been 11 or 12 years old. And I describe my nature in that book. And I say I was a very shy, very timid, very bashful, a frightened child, a lonely child, the only child of my parents. I didn't have any friends except for one. And I could not come forward. I could not speak. I had ambition, but I could not manifest it because of my timidity. So I talk about my nature and not very confident of myself, not very sure, am I good? Am I worthy? Am I anything at all? And I recall that one incident where my neighbor, I had a friend called Milin, and he was my neighbor. He was of my age, and he was my only friend, in the building. And I was like, we were holding on to each other. And I would spend a lot of time in his house. He would spend in my house, and we were always together. And his father, Milin's father, was a novelist. He was working in a bank or something, but he was basically a novelist. And I used to go to Milin's house, and Milin's father was always, his head was bent, and he was always writing something. It was not the time of computers, so he was writing with his, on a paper with his pen, and always in serious contemplation, in that kind of creative mode, how writers are, oblivious to the world, you can say. And I, a little boy in half pants, used to be in and around his house a lot of time. And he never ever looked at me or spoke to me or nothing. But it was on this one day when I went to their house, I was there. He said, Rajan, come here. I, I was I was shocked. I said, I mean, why is he calling me? Have I done something wrong or what did I do? I went and stood shyly before him, not even able to look at him. And he looked at me and he said to me, Rajan, I just want to say something to you. You know how good we feel when you come here. How nice we feel when you are in our house. I just wanted to tell you this. I tell you, this was the only sentences he ever spoke to me in this lifetime. And those sentences, spoken 50 years or more ago, it still reverberates in my mind, you know, because he spoke without any expectation, without any conditions. And I felt totally accepted. And I felt I'm worth something. At least I bring some joy to someone. I must be some good, you see. But in this book, I have not written too much in detail. I just described this incident. And I said that this incident had a big impact on me. Now, the reader is free to understand anything or take any lesson or make any philosophy out of it. I don't mind. But I've left it open to just point out such things. And that's why I say it's the small things that make such a big difference in our lives.
Absolutely, absolutely. The small things matter. And that brings me to another part of the book that I'd just like to read where you've written here. Um, each, each of us has our path, our own story. Each one of us is a unique package who plays a unique role, each one marching to one's drummer. So beautifully written, Dr. Rajan. So beautifully written. How these stories mingle so beautifully, and they're stories about different people and how their paths crossed yours. And could you tell us a little bit about how randomly or how it happened? How do these encounters take place? Oh,
Well, Shukrita, I think you should not use the word encounter because in India it has a very, very different significance. And I certainly don't want any encounter to take place with me for sure. But anyway, uh, we don't know how these things happen. I think that one has to be ready. One has to have a fertile soil for these things to happen, and one has to be ready. I think one of the things that I wrote the book for was to make people aware, to be aware to be aware, so that everything in life doesn't pass you by without showing something, without teaching something. I still remember once I was passing through immigration control in Switzerland. I was going through the passport check, and the lady took my passport and looked at me and she said, "Happy birthday." She just said that. That was my birthday because she read in my passport it was the 24th of May and I was there. I tell you, it's still, this is 35 years ago. And I understood how anybody in such a routine job as stamping your passport and giving it back to hundreds of people a day, how they can do their job with a heart. It taught me a lot in life. But each one plays his role. How you play your role, it's your choice. And I said each one plays his role, and we need not be judgmental of which role is bigger or smaller or who is better or worse. We are all playing our roles. And I think one of the biggest lessons for me in lifetime is that, really speaking, there is no other than you. So I have described a lot of people in this book, and some of it may sound very, very appreciative. Some of them may sound even critical. And I met people who you could call egoistical, people who are selfless, people who are good, people who are bad. But ultimately, I realize they are all me. They are just different parts of me. And that realization creates a kind of acceptance of them and acceptance of yourself, which causes immense peace in your mind. So, one of the purposes of this book is to share this kind of viewpoint, and in a way, it's a healing journey. So I never wrote. So the book has a lot of fun part in it. I put a lot of funny things that happen spontaneously. I've written a lot of things that produce sorrow, that grief. This is what life is about. Kabhi khushi, kabhi gum, they call it, sometimes happy, sometimes sad. But underlying all these things, the intention is to create awareness, and the intention is healing, because awareness is healing in whatever level it is. If you are aware of your own pattern, you heal the pattern. If you're aware of your own purpose, you heal that purpose. If you're aware of your life, you heal your life. It's at what level you're aware. And the book, I think, has several layers of awareness.
Yes, absolutely. And you said very well that through the interactions, all this awareness comes about. However, like sometimes people think, oh, to be sort of, to gain this awareness, one must go and sit like a hermit on the top of the mountain and not have anyone disturb them. And that's how you can attain sort of enlightenment. But here it's like through these interactions, through living life, day to day, and meeting these people, how you can actually, you know, in some way become enlightened, about life, about what's going on.
Yes, I think that sitting in a cave is not for me. I'm sorry, I'm too restless. I always say that. Find me a cave with a Wi-Fi, if you know what I mean. I'm too restless to sit inside of a cave. But I think that in life, when we meet people, when we meet situations, they are all mirrors of your own self, of mirrors of your story, mirror of your purpose. That's how I see it. I see everything as a mirror. And if you see that, then I think it's not necessary to go to a cave. Life teaches you a lot, much more than any cave can teach you. Though I'm
Absolutely.
not saying that going to a cave is bad, but that's for somebody else, not me.
Yes, yes, you are you. And for, well, let us tell us a little bit about the title, Monks, Monkeys, and Memories. What inspired this very unique title?
Well, I wanted a catchy title, because catchy titles catch people. That's the idea of a catchy title. I thought a kind of a bland title like Reflections on Life's Journey would be just too serious. And the book is not serious, it is very serious, but it's not serious. Uh, yes. So I thought, what can be the title? And then what I did, this is interesting, is that when I collected all these memories, first I collected it at random. It could be not chronological. I could talk about something that happened last week and something that happened 50 years ago. So I just wrote all these stories, and then I thought I better arrange them chronologically, because then you can read it from cover to cover rather than in broken up pieces. So I put the jigsaw puzzle together, and I saw what kind of picture it made. And to my surprise, what I saw was a kind of an arc which started with a shy child, a timid child, a, all of that, a lonely child, even looking for love, looking for validation, etc. And then I saw, a kind of achievement, when the ego comes in, and when, one would say even the testosterone comes in, and you want to achieve and you want to do something and you want to compete and you want to do all of that. And then it comes a phase which is understanding that all this is not really leading you to a place where you really want to go. All the glitter is not really what you want. What is it that you really want? And what you want is to find peace within yourself, and you want to find peace in the world, and you find a good relationships with everybody around you, and to make a difference, to have a sense of purpose, not only for yourself, but for whatever. And then, as Kabir said, when you came to the world, you came crying and everybody else was laughing with happiness. Leave the world in such a way that you are laughing, that you did your best, and people are crying that they will miss you. So this journey, from being a monkey mind, restless mind, jumping from here, wanting the next banana and fighting for the next tree branch to swing from, etc., etc. And then slowly I saw that the stories are showing a kind of meeting the right people at the right time and calming down a little bit. I am not saying I'm at the end of the road, but I can see where this journey is leading. I am also not saying that one should go there or one should become a monk. No, 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 no. But if you just observe the arc, the pattern, it normally should lead from a monkey mind to a monk mind. And the memories are what connect this path. And therefore, I called the book Monks, Monkeys, and Memories. There are some monks in the book, and there is one prominent monkey who you can see on the cover page. That's me without my makeup. I have to admit, I confess. And the rest of the book is just memories. So I thought it was a catchy enough title, and it conveyed exactly what I want to say.
Well, thank you for explaining that. Well, I think your books are titled so beautifully. There was Dog Yogi Banyan Tree, and there was Manchi the Boatman. So, would you say this book is different from the earlier two in some way?
Well, yes, Dog Yogi Banyan Tree is a place where I actually sought teachers like my father, Dr. Fatak, my music teacher, my Guruji, where I actually went to seek them and what I learned from them. It was a conscious effort. Manji the boatman describes my philosophical outlook of life that is put in a story form. But this book is neither about seeking teachers nor is it about philosophy. In fact, I very carefully avoided any kind of philosophizing in the book. This book is only about observations, about situations that are not like very big situations in my life, but there are some big situations, but mostly very, very simple situations that show what life is all about. At least it showed me. And I have purposely left that part to the reader to read in between the lines. But I am very confident that the simplicity of the book will convey exactly what I want to say.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Dr. Kyle, if we could share a short promo, we have a little video that we have made uh, for the book. So it would be nice to share that with our esteemed audience here today.
Life's journey is an adventure, filled with significant events that shape who we are. But amidst these milestones lie the subtleties of small moments, often overlooked, yet holding the essence of life itself. Meet Dr. Rajan Sankaran, an eminent homeopathic doctor from Mumbai, India, who has an extraordinary story to tell. Join him on a journey of self-discovery as he embarks on a quest to unravel the mysteries of life through his seemingly ordinary interactions and serendipitous meetings. Monks, Monkeys, and Memories is a travelogue unlike any other. It's a collection of tales that weave through the fabric of human existence, revealing the transformative power of everyday encounters. From the bustling streets of distant cities to the tranquil serenity of remote villages, Rajan encounters a diverse array of characters and situations that leave a lasting impression. Through laughter and tears, Rajan's journey leads him on a path of personal growth and enlightenment. His restless monkey mind begins to find peace and serenity, transforming into the wisdom of a monk. Monks, Monkeys, and Memories is not just a story, it's a guidebook for life. Its pages are filled with easy-to-read, entertaining anecdotes that offer profound insights into the human experience. Join Rajan on his journey and discover the true spirit of life, hidden within the subtleties of small things. Monks, Monkeys, and Memories, your ultimate travel companion for the adventure called life.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Dr. Kyle. It was wonderful. And now we would like our audience to participate. And before that, I would just like to read one last few sentences from the book. Through the prism of my perception, I could see distinctly all the colors of my life in the form of different memories. It felt like this was the right time to document and reflect on them. While I have immensely enjoyed writing these stories, my happiness would be complete if even one person has fun reading them. Perhaps you are that one. This is for our esteemed audience. And some of you have already read some parts of the book. And so I would invite all of you all to share in the chat box what your experience has been, even if you read a chapter or two, or if you have completed the book also. It would be lovely. And if you have any questions for Dr. Rajan, please do write in those as well. So please go ahead and write what you'd like to ask Dr. Rajan. And if you all would like to speak, you all can let us know. We'll unmute you and you all can share as well. Yes, we have. Good. You can use the raise hand button and we will unmute you. We have comments coming in that the writing has been elegant, beautifully done. Yes. Easy to read. Wonderful. Yes. Yes. So,
I can read some questions here. So
yeah.
Catherine has asked me, what does your younger son do? Where is he? Well, Catherine, my younger son is into writing, and he graduated from Yale, which also was a little funny incident which I wrote in the book. Because when I went to meet him, I went to the passport control in New York, and they said, "Why have you come?" I said, "To meet my son." They said, "Where is he?" I said, "He is in Yale." And the guy thought I said, "He is in jail." He said, "Oh, why did they put him there?" I said, "Because he is brilliant." And the guy saying, "They do that? They put brilliant guys in jail?" I said, "No, he is in Yale." So he graduated from Yale and he is now wanting to be a screenwriter for television and movies. And I wrote a couple of chapters about him in the book, uh, which I think you will enjoy reading.
Yes. So there are a couple of questions coming about where to buy the book. We'll surely share that in a bit, but we'll go to
Well, I
the
think you can
question.
tell them right away that it is available in my website, rajansankaran.com, or it is available on Amazon in India. And within this week, it will be available Amazon worldwide.
And it's also coming out as a Kindle ebook on Kindle soon as well. So that would be coming out soon.
So
Yes.
Mr. Chandrasekhar writes that from your busy schedule, how do you find time to write such wonderful books? Well, basically, it's uh, it's what you want to do, what you enjoy doing. And to be honest with you, Mr. Chandrasekhar, I believe that writing books is a part of my role, as a healer. Because healing is not only through giving medicines or giving individual counseling, but it is to share awareness that can have a good effect, a healing effect on people. And all the books I wrote so far, whether it was Dog Yogi Banyan Tree or Manji the Boatman or the current book Monks, Monkeys and Memories, are intended as healing not only for the reader but also for myself. So I think it's a very important part of my work. So I find time for it. And you have written, you are the most intelligent and the most cool doctor in the country. Well, thank you for that. And I don't know what to say, but I think that I don't really feel a sense of ownership, or is as if it's not me who is doing any of this thing. An apple tree doesn't take pride in producing apples. That's what it does. So I see things happening through me rather than by me. And that also gives me a lot of peace of mind.
Yes.
Or has written the last books of yours have healing factor as well, because they encourage me to go ahead in difficult situations. And if there are any questions of what life is about, especially the so called simple situations, thank you for sharing. Horst, thank you for sharing that. And I must really, really appreciate you, Horst, for translating into German Manji the Boatman, and also offering to translate Monks, Monkeys, and Memories. You have been a great support. Thank you so much. In fact, two lines from you are in the back of the book very nicely as quotations. Mr. Haresh Shah, to whom I am deeply obliged because he has done a lot for me, he writes the book takes the reader hand in hand, as though some of the situations started to happen to each one of us. And yes, Mr. Harish, a lot of people say to me that these books reflect what is happening in them and they can relate to it. Like, when your son grows up, that moment when you realize your son is a man, it's such a common experience for all of us, and people can relate to that. That's absolutely right.
Yes, we
Rupika,
have a question from Dr. Piyush Gupta. What would you guide us to, how would you guide us to utilize our time in a more disciplined and joyous way?
can you repeat the question again?
How would you help us to understand how to utilize time in a more joyful way?
Well, basically, do what you enjoy and enjoy what you do. This is
Hmm.
the most simple thing I can tell you, that prioritize what you enjoy, because that is what really you're made to do. You're created to do that, and that is what you will enjoy the most.
Yes.
Well, Rupika, uh,
People are very listening to see your humorous side, Rajan.
my human side,
Humorous side.
humorous. All right. Okay.
Yes,
They
yes.
want to see it or they are seeing it. What's happening?
I don't know. Well, they have, through this book, they have seen some your humorous side. So I think that has come across through this
I
book.
think humor is a very, very healing thing. They say laughter is the best medicine. What it means is that when you reflect on something, much after it has happened,
Hmm.
you see the funny side of it. When you're in the middle of it, it seems very, very serious. I've written a story where I was like sitting in a restaurant with two people and they were talking non-stop, and I wanted to kill myself. It was so suffocating. So at that time, it was very difficult. But now, after 20 years, when I look back, I laugh and laugh about it. And that's the beauty of humor also.
Yes.
Always seen you in a serious setting for a homeopathic consult. Also want to know more about how others and how many parts of you. Well, I am a very, very spontaneous person, and I would suggest you can join my Insta page, and you can see a lot of sides of me. In fact, once what happened, I was just sharing. I got a cat into my house, and I gave it some milk, and I was very curious how a cat can lap up the milk with the tongue, blub, 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 and it's able to do it, and we can't do it, after all human evolution, we still can't drink with our tongue. So I said, I will try, so I put some water next to the cat and I went down and tried to slurp it out with my mouth. And somebody took a video of that and put it, and I put it on my Insta, and I received so much flack from the homeopathic community. Sir, you are an important teacher of the community, you cannot drink like a cat. What is going to happen to the homeopathic reputation? All of that. I said, I don't care. And then somebody asked me, did it work? Were you able to drink? I said, no, I failed. The cat succeeded. So I'm a very spontaneous person. That's what makes me who I am. But in a consultation, of course, I can't slurp like a cat and make jokes. So I have to sit and observe and give the patient the stage, to let them be. I can't perform at that time, I can't. So you see a serious side of me in the clinic, but if you know me personally, I'm very spontaneous. And I enjoy every moment of my life. And I
Yeah.
have absolutely no ill feeling to any human being on earth, only empathy. I see everybody in the same boat. And I always see the funny side of life.
Yes, we have appreciation from Dr. Arun for Manji the boatman. Thank you, Dr. Arun. And we have a question here by Shishir Varma. What is meant by serendipity? What a beautiful question, because I love that word, serendipity.
Serendipity means basically it means that when you are looking for something and you find something that you never were looking for. So this is known as serendipity. It's a coincidence, you can say. But as Jung said it, there are really no coincidences. Things happen for a reason. And how these things, how did it happen? How did the most important thing of my life happen just by chance, That is serendipity. Yes.
Yes. And we have a question also from Shireen Bhan. Shireen asks you that, first of all, she's congratulating you. And she's written, as a healer, what is the attribute that you believe is your superpower?
I don't have a superpower. I wish I had. I could just put my hand out and start flying like Superman. I'm a very, very ordinary human being. The only quality of a healer, the real quality of the healer is empathy, is to feel the suffering of the other. Mahatma Gandhi's most favorite song was Vaishnava Janato. He said, the man of God is he who can see the suffering of the other and can help the other one without feeling egoistic about it, because actually you're helping yourself. That's the only quality that makes a healer, in my understanding. Not that I have reached there, but that's my attempt.
Very nice. Very nice. We have a question from Rima asking, what has been
Yeah.
the purpose of your life?
The purpose of my life, Rima, is to eat good South Indian food. As you know very well, thank you so much. I was just at your house this evening and you gave me such amazing food. So for me, the purpose of life is to just be, just to live each moment, to eat when you eat, to work when you work, to love when you love, to be sad when you're sad, and just be what you are at every moment, and just be completely in the moment and experience each moment to its fullest. This is life. When I ate the sambar that you gave me, that was the purpose of my life at that time. And now the purpose of my life is to talk to you, to be with you. You
Yeah.
see, I don't have a long-term vision or a goal of life. I just live in the moment.
Yes, beautiful. And I must say that this book has a lot of food and instances related to food in it. So once you'll read it, you'll may also relate or to some aspects of that.
It gives you very good guide to restaurants. Please read it only for this reason. And describes each item on the menu.
Oh my God. Yes. Wonderful. So we have Dr. Praful Barwalia saying it's wonderful sharing of your experiences as observer.
Praful has been a big inspiration in my life. He has done such selfless work, and he has been my brother and such a big influence. And I'm so happy to see all my people here. It almost looks like an election rally where I brought all my audience to listen to me.
What did you do, Dr. Rajan, to get them all here today? Did you do
Oh,
anything
I,
special?
I, I just loved all of them and they love me in return. What
Yes,
more can I say? I love all of them. I'm so grateful to the universe for bringing all these people in my life. I'm so grateful. And somehow that shines through.
absolutely. So someone's asking, can we take the MMM, which is going to be the mantra now, MMM, as a autobiography series written in parts? Is that how we should look at it?
Well, you can look at it anyway, but if I really become a monk, then this was probably my last book.
Oh, oh no.
So
I think,
let's see. Let us see. As I feel, see, my idea is not to write a book. My idea is to share something that will help people. Now, if I have more things to write that I feel will help, I will write. But
yes,
if I have really nothing to say, I don't, it's not autobiographical in the sense that, you know, this happened to me and that happened to me and I was born here and I went there and I did that and no, no, this not about, or it's not an autobiography. It is a book of awareness.
right, right. Wonderful. And I think many of your patients also are here on the chat, and they're very grateful to have.
I see Mr. Gurmeet Singh Rangar is here, my very, very
Yes,
good friend and trustee of the homeopathic research and charities with me. He is also a writer and a poet, and he wrote very nicely that writing itself is healing, and I completely with him.
yes,
It was a very important healing experience for me to sit and reflect on all of those incidents and experiences. And I'm so happy for myself that I wrote it. And I also must confess that I wrote it for my two sons so that I could share my experiences with them. And you know, they may not have the patience to listen to me. So I did a little clever thing. I wrote the book and I said, I want you to read and criticize this book so that they will read it. The plan worked both ways because they read it and they also offered criticism, which helped me to improve the book. So the job of the book is basically done. It healed me and it shared my experiences with my sons. So everything else is a bonus. And if you all enjoy it, it's a double bonus.
yes. We have a question here. Can you tell us anything about your travel experience to Tiruvannamalai?
Well, I think I wrote about it in my earlier book, Dog Yogi Banyan Tree. I didn't write about Tiruvannamalai here. That
Yes.
is the ashram of Sri Ramana Maharishi, who is a kind of inspiration for me. And I went there on my 50th birthday, and what happened there was very interesting, but I wrote it in Dog Yogi book.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I'm not going to give it away because otherwise you may not buy the book. So I have a little commercial sense to me. So
Sure. Yes. Well, we have another question here. How can one start his or her spiritual journey?
I think the spiritual journey has 3 or 4 steps. The first step is witnessing. So very, very often we get too involved with our thoughts and identify with them. Say, I am angry. You say, I am angry. But is not I is not to be identified with anger. It's like saying I am Mr. Angry. No, no. Anger comes and goes. Tomorrow you are not angry. So I am not angry. Anger comes and goes inside a space which is called I. So you separate the thoughts and emotions from the being or the person. This is the first step towards spirituality, that you don't identify with that. You become a witness of that. And the second step is to go deeper to that. But I think so far we will stop here.
Yes. Well, for those of you who want to do certain meditations on www.rajansankaran.com, we do have Rajan's meditations there. Please explore, and they are freely available on YouTube as well. So it would be nice to do that. Yes. So thank you, everyone. And well, people want to know if this will appear on YouTube. I believe so.
Yes,
It,
we will put it on YouTube. Yes.
yes, thank you. Thank you.
And
Well,
I also want to say to people that I hope you read the book. And if and when you do, I will be very happy to hear your comments.
yes.
The address you need to write to is admin1@sankaransclinic.com. This is the address you should write to. And also, we'll be very happy if you put your book review on Amazon too, because I'm not very too much well known in the world outside of homeopathy. I want everybody to take benefit. Personally, it doesn't matter so much to me if my book sells or not. But I think it will help a lot of people. And if it helps you, you must help spread the word. And as a token of appreciation, we will send 3 books for the 6 best reviews on most insightful reviews on Amazon. That is just to inspire you to write. And that's it. Yes,
Wonderful.
Shukrita. I would
One,
like a few words from Kyle because I have not heard him speak so far.
yes, Dr. Kyle is a very,
Kyle
very
has been
close
a great
associate.
support
Yes,
to me
yes.
all the while, and I really want him to say a few words.
Sure. Thank you very much for having me here as well. For me, it's been a really wonderful blessing, to be involved in this book and all the other works as well. But I had a really great seat in the journey of this book, from the manuscript till the final print copy. I got to read it and see how it evolved um, from those early stages, the first couple of stories, and how also seeing that idea that you spoke about, the monkey going to the monk mind. So I think I had the best seat in the house, which I'm extremely grateful for, and I hope to remain in the seat for some time further and see all these things. I think I'm the lucky one. So thank you for having me, and yeah, it's always great to be involved.
Yeah, thank you, Kyle.
Thank you, Kyle. We are also very grateful to have you. And thank you for this wonderful audience here today. I really thank all of you from the bottom of my heart, from Rajan and me and the entire team. And please go ahead and read the book. And all your comments, even criticisms or whatever you may have, is more than welcome. And have a great evening, everybody. Bye bye from us.